One of the more unexpected moves came right before the deadline. Travis Perry, the former Kentucky Mr. Basketball and the all-time leading scorer in Kentucky high school history, announced he would be entering the transfer portal. Perry, who originally committed under the previous Kentucky coaching staff but stayed on to play for Mark Pope, had a solid freshman campaign, one that frankly outpaced expectations. While Perry's season averages won't jump off the stat sheet, he logged just under 3 points per game. The value he brought to the Wildcats went far beyond the box score. Amid a tough stretch where Kentucky was plagued by injuries to key players like Lamont Butler and Jackson Robinson, Perry was thrust into significant minutes in critical SEC matchups, including 28 minutes in a tight battle with Texas, 26 minutes in a victory over Vanderbilt, and another 28 against Alabama. Perry showed poise and resilience. Considering he was originally projected to be a deep reserve, perhaps the 12th or 13th man, his impact was both surprising and crucial during a rough mid-season stretch. His decision to transfer has certainly stirred emotions among Kentucky fans. He was not just another player, he was a local star, a homegrown talent many hoped would be a cornerstone for years to come. But in the evolving landscape of college basketball, his move reflects broader realities. Loyalty, while still important to fans, is often outweighed by financial opportunity and career strategy. For players like Perry, who likely won't have an NBA future, these college years are their prime earning seasons, especially with the new NIL era creating unprecedented opportunities. From a Kentucky roster standpoint, Perry's departure likely reopens the search for a backup guard. The Wildcats, who many believed had finalized their roster heading into the summer, are now back in the market for depth in the backcourt. It's another reminder of how fluid team building has become in modern college basketball and why programs must stay flexible even after they think they've wrapped up their recruiting work. While many anticipated Travis Perry would take a step down in competition, perhaps joining a strong mid-major program like Western Kentucky or landing somewhere in the Missouri Valley or Ohio Valley conferences, his actual path took a surprising turn. The assumption was that Perry would spend a year dominating at a lower level, put up huge numbers, and then make a big money return to the Power 5 scene. Instead, the opposite unfolded, highlighting another major theme of this transfer portal cycle. There are more open roster spots than there are proven difference makers. Almost immediately after announcing his transfer, Perry's name was linked to Ole Miss, a program we've discussed often as an aggressive player in the NIL era. Head coach Chris Beard, after turning down an offer from Texas A&M, secured a major influx of NIL resources for the Rebels, giving Ole Miss a serious war chest to work with. Outside of key additions like A.J. Storr and Corin Johnson, though, the Rebels have struggled to fill out their roster with elite talent, making Perry an intriguing target. From Perry's perspective, the decision makes complete sense. In today's college basketball landscape, players have to think financially as much as they do about playing time and fit. It's projected that Perry could earn a 7-figure NIL deal next season. A remarkable achievement for any college athlete, let alone one just finishing his freshman year. The kicker, of course, is that he'll likely be cashing those checks while competing in the SEC, just not while wearing Kentucky blue. The situation mirrors what we saw earlier this week with Denzel Aberdeen, who transferred from Florida to Kentucky. Aberdeen, a player fresh off a Final Four run with the Gators, chose to leave his home state school for Lexington. And at the heart of that move was a financial package Kentucky simply outbid Florida for. These aren't easy decisions emotionally, but they are logical ones when considering the realities players face after their college careers end. And now, with Perry's departure, Kentucky's roster plans have shifted once again. After adding Aberdeen earlier this week, it appears Mark Pope and his staff aren't done building. Behind the scenes, there's a constant scramble. As one coach recently joked, A day in the portal feels like a week, and a week feels like a month. Every 48 hours, a program's recruiting board can look completely different. Just days ago, it seemed like Kentucky had finalized its roster after securing Denzel Aberdeen from Florida. The addition felt like the final piece of the puzzle, a moment of clarity after a hectic portal season. But now, following Travis Perry's unexpected transfer, the Wildcats are back in the market for another addition. When the roster was seemingly complete, the biggest concern was how Coach Mark Pope would find playing time for all his talented pieces. Now, with Perry's departure, there's a clear opening, and it makes sense that Pope is looking to fill it. Simply put, depth is essential in today's college basketball world. Injuries, unpredictable events, and the physical grind of a long season demand a roster that's versatile and deep. Travis Perry himself is a perfect example. No one expected him to log major minutes, yet there he was playing 25, 28, even 30 minutes in critical SEC matchups. It's no surprise then that Kentucky is actively working to bring in a 13th scholarship player. Meanwhile, Mark Pope isn't just looking at immediate roster needs, he's also planting seeds for the future, visiting top 2026 prospects like Caleb Holt, a top 5 national player, and Tatum Tay Kenny, a top 20 recruit. While neither of these elite high schoolers will fill the void Perry leaves, it's clear that Kentucky is moving full speed ahead both short and long term. As for who might step into that 13th roster spot, right now, there isn't a clear frontrunner, and Pope isn't expected to reach into the developmental ranks for a young, unproven player. In today's era of win-now college basketball, especially at a powerhouse like Kentucky, experience matters. The Wildcats are likely targeting a veteran, seasoned guard who can accept a role as a depth piece, bring leadership, and step in when needed. At this point, it's clear Kentucky's coaching staff isn't in a rush to make a splashy move. They're simply looking for the right fit. While no specific names have emerged yet, the search is focused. Find a reliable guard, likely from the lower or mid-major levels, someone capable of giving the team 8 to 10 solid minutes a night and stepping up if needed. The reality is players like that do exist, and right now, nearly every major program is hunting for similar types. Even though the transfer portal officially closed, the activity hasn't slowed. Across the country, top programs are still scrambling to address holes. St. John's, for example, despite recently landing Dylan Mitchell, still has multiple scholarships available and is working to fill them. UConn, the reigning powerhouse, could be back on the hunt depending on Alex Caravan's NBA decision. BYU is still seeking to round out its roster as well. As we wrap up today's coverage on the Wildcats, it's clear the coaching staff has a strong plan in place. Whether it's a hidden gem from a smaller conference or an experienced transfer eager for the bright lights of Lexington, Kentucky is poised to complete its roster smartly and strategically.